I want to make life work for our veterans. Now, people say what they want, and not too many people talk about veterans, but I want to make it work for our veterans. And the reason is because we have 65,000 veterans in Prince George's County, and yet we have a high number of veterans who are homeless. There is no reason for someone to go and fight for their country and then come home and not have a home to live in. That is hypocritical. It is wrong. It is wrong for them to have to stand in long lines and wait for months and months before they get the services that they fought for others to have. So I want to move an administration here, a veterans administration here in our county, so that they don't have to go to Baltimore and Washington and run all around. I want to deal with affordable housing. We can have affordable housing in our county. We can have affordable housing that does not, as some people think, mess up the tax base of our county. No, we can have affordable housing. Why must we have affordable housing? Because number one, our veterans need that. Number two, our seniors need that. Some of our seniors, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Some of our seniors did not want to move out of their homes, but their taxes were at the extent where they could not. No, we can do a lot better than that. So I've got to remember our seniors when their Social Security goes up by 1%, and yet their rent goes up by 5 and 15%. There are ways to take care. There are ways to look out for that. I put a bill in that would deal with what we call rent stabilization. It was a win-win. So I thought that if you had a place like this, and if you could give a tax credit to them, they could pass that tax credit on, and that tax credit would make sure that rent did not go up like it's going up beyond their own raise themselves. And they said to me, and the thing about being in the Senate, you got to deal with all these senators, and you got to go and gather votes, right? And so for 1 year, I said, okay, they kept voting it down. They said, we can't do it. I said, how about this? Forget about your county. You don't want it. You don't have to have it. Let's do a trial in my county for 1 year. And so they agreed to that, and we put together a pilot program, and for 1 year, they were able to fund it just to see if it worked, and it did, where seniors could get back in that year. And Brandy is here, and she'll tell you more about it, because we want to continue to fund that as well. They worked hard on that to be able to say at least once a year, we're going to give a month's rent. We're going to give a month's rent back, at least what is equivalent to what is a month's rent. We're going to give that back to seniors. Now, $800 or $1,000 may not sound like much to those of us in this room, but I tell you what, it means something to seniors, right? It means something. It means something to the seniors who got to make decisions that they shouldn't have to make. If they're in their homes, and lastly, I'll stop with this. I just want you to feel my heart, not so much my whole policy. I believe that in this county, we can get to a place where if we tax those who are supposed to be taxed, because I believe in, I want economic development, I want economic growth, but if you come here, you're going to give something back to our community. What you give back to our community will go to our community. And you're going to maintain your fair share. We ought to get to a point where when seniors get to a certain age and they're in their homes, that no more raising taxes. No more raising taxes. We have paid taxes long enough. And we ought to be able to look at some that who dealing with a formula where we ought to be able to adjust some of that. We ought to be able to adjust it so we can say, I want you in your home. And if I want you in your home, maybe 10% decrease in your taxes. And where are we going to get the money? Well, we're going to get the money from those who come in and keep getting tax exempt on property that's worth billions of dollars and say, I want you here, but just do your part. Help me take care of the people who are going to come down and spend money in your businesses. There is a win-win. I have done what I believe, and I've given my life to public service, so I came here to ask you, yes, there are many more issues, and if you have questions, I'll answer them. I want to serve the county that I love. I want to serve the county that gave me a chance. I want to serve the God who gave me a chance, and I want to make life better for others. Thank you for coming and listening to my speech. God bless you. God keep blessing our country and our nation. Thank you for coming. I'll stop for questions. I'll stop for any questions or comments that you all may have. A bill just went into law yesterday because your first part of your question was about medicine. A bill just went into effect. I worked with the Attorney General, Brian Frosh, and we put in a bill that said pharmaceutical companies in Maryland can no longer do what we call price gouging. They can no longer have these outrageous prices on medicine that people need. Now, they fought that. They took it to the courts, and the courts have sided with us that we can do that. So that law is in effect. You should see prices going down with your medicine that I pray will give you more money for your food. That's the kind of fighting I want to do, to be a partner with people to get it done. Let me tell you what I'd like to ask of you. One, I'd like to ask for your support. I'd like to ask for your vote. That's more important. That's very important. I'd like to not only ask for your vote, but I'm going to tell you something that's more important than money. Time. Time. I have never run with what we call the machine. And the reason I never run with the establishment is because I'm not going to do what the establishment many times asks me to do. I'm not going to lie to y'all people. If something is not right, I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to do it. And if, as has happened to me, as you read in the papers, they take one seat away from me and they give me another appointment and they take me out of the finance committee because he said he didn't agree with us on that bill. And the very bill I didn't agree with them on, they had to come back and 2 years later and kill it anyway because it did exactly what I said. When I said a lot of the money was not going into schools, it's not going there. I am not an establishment person, but I've been blessed enough to raise up a group of people to support me, and I believe that the machine is so broken that the machine is going to be irrelevant here, and for once we're going to get people and a people machine elected more so than we have done. It's going to be the people putting me in because the establishment will not. Did y'all hear what I just said? The establishment is not going to put me in. The establishment is going to try and put others in. And I am saying I've been out here long enough to be strong enough. Every election I have run, they have spent money against me because I'm not going to be a yes person and a puppet to them. But by the grace of God and good people, even though they spent almost $300,000 or $400,000 more than I did to defeat me last election, it was historic that I won every single precinct. And I won every single precinct because I went out there to see the people and to say to them, if I'm not doing a good job, you can tell me to my face and tell me get lost, but I'm going to come to you. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to ask you for what I can do. When you connect with the people, I think that's greater than trying to have some establishment and making excuses for their foolishness to people that you say you love. I welcome your support. I need your support. Again, God bless you.